Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And for some reason, we're going to talk about Disney's Chicken Little.
Right, because somebody has to.
Nobody has even thought about this movie in like freaking 20 years, 15 years, whenever it came out. It was 2005, came out in 2005, 15 years. It came, it went, and that was it.
Our kids always liked it.
Yeah, I mean, it was okay. It was all right, but now it's being resuscitated because it wasn't politically correct enough, I guess. There was an article on Collider talking about the history of Chicken Little and talking about how Michael Eisner insisted that Chicken Little be male.
Right.
And that was just one of many, many things. It's
right, they're talking about
long.
it being their first CGI movie
Right.
and a bunch of other things was going on around it and why it was delayed, all that kind of stuff. It's talking about all that kind of stuff. And there's one little part in the article that talks about it being he had to be a boy.
Yeah, and that came from Michael Eisner, who was like, no, I think Chicken Little should be male. And again, it wasn't the focus of the article. It was very interesting to hear about the production history and all the problems. Because,
well, I was going to say, if you made him female and no one believed him, then they're going to be like, that's problematic too.
believe all women.
But I'm saying, if they had a chicken that was a female going on about how the sky, something from the sky fell and hit him in the head, which you have to do because the sky is falling, and people don't believe the chicken. Basically, you have a female character that no one believes. Oh my God, what would have happened had they done that?
Oh my God. Yeah, I could see that being problematic current year. I can see
it was been problematic then.
Yeah, but Michael Eisner insisted Chicken Little was going to be male. And because of that, Screen Rant took that itty bitty part of this very lengthy, in-depth article, focused on that, and was
surprise.
Like, how dare they?
How very dare they?
How
like
dare
I said, if we would remake this, and fine, switch out Chicken Little and put a girl in there. How well would that have gone over?
Yeah. It wouldn't have gone well at all. In fact, it would be an incredibly problematic movie current year. They'd be like, we need to ban this movie because 15 years ago, there was a whole movie that was about women lying, and we know that women are incapable of lies. Mm-hmm. You have to believe all women in the entire town didn't believe Chick Little.
And then like when Michael Eisner said, I don't want to be a girl, I want to be a boy. And I'm sure he made that decision. There was a reason why.
Okay, they're talking about one of the guys who was originally going to work on the movie said that the suggestion was perhaps made due to some market research done by the studio and claimed girls will go see a movie with a boy protagonist, but boys won't see a movie with a girl protagonist. According to Dindal, that was the wisdom at the time until Frozen came out.
Right, so that was just that whether it was right or wrong, it was just what the Hollywood was doing in general.
But Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast.
Right, I know.
I'm just saying, like, that kind of blows that out of the water.
Right,
it just sounded to me like Michael Eisner wanted Chicken Little to be a boy.
But they were putting out, when you think about the movies they were putting out, though, a lot of them were female characters.
They were,
yeah. I mean, like Home on the Range. We had Emperor's New Groove and a couple things like that, but a lot of times it was mostly Disney princesses and stuff like that.
Most of, other than, let's see, Aladdin and The Lion King, most male-led Disney movies during the Renaissance era didn't do as well as princess movies.
No, you had Hercules and Tarzan, but you had, for every one of those, you can list a bunch of princess movies. So I think they were just trying to try to be like, spread out more so they have a better chance at hitting more audiences. But at the end of the day, they're flipping chickens and aliens.
Chickens and aliens. Chickens versus aliens. That would have been a better title for the movie. Chickens versus aliens.
Well, animals in general.
But this movie got kind of like lost in the shuffle. This is the very end of Eisner's reign, leading into Iger's reign, and it's before they bought Pixar. So it was a year or two before they bought Pixar that this came out. And they were basically, Disney was trying to do Pixar in-house. So if the Pixar thing fell through, they still were doing CG. And they had Meet the Robinsons.
Pixar always did better. Meet the Robinsons was very good.
Meet the Robinsons was actually, that's another one I would say was a forgotten. But then we had freaking Home on the Range and some other trash in there that just wasn't very good. But yeah, Chicken Little's okay. It was more like a DreamWorks movie, I think, than a Disney movie. But it was all right. But this, again, just to kind of talk more about the issue that people are having now, they go back on casting decisions. We've been seeing a trend lately in Hollywood where now they're coming out and saying, specifically, we're going to do affirmative action in our shows and movies.
That's what I said. I said, well, how is this any different than Hollywood, gender bending characters all the time, race swapping characters all the time, doing whatever they can to make sure they hit whatever the demand is for at the time. It's the same damn thing.
Yeah, and this is kind of the buzzword current year. So of course, they're going to look back at older stuff and be like, too many men, too many white men. It's problematic, even though it was made 60 years ago.
Right, yeah. It's just, but it's stupid. It's like, my first comment to you when you told me this, besides the fact I mentioned this, was, is it a slow news day for Screen Rant? Is that what this is about? Because you're complaining about a movie that most people don't even really care about that happened 15 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, this is, they're talking about Mark Dindal and Randy Fulmer, and they're talking about this whole, this is a very good article. It's a very lengthy. Collider actually did a really good job with this. And the fact that of all of this information, talking about the process of how this movie got made and all of that the only thing they could pick out was, should have been a girl.
Yeah, exactly. Well, of course it did. What can we do that's controversial that we'll get hits for because no one gives a shit about us? I know. We'll start yelling sexism again.
Yeah, I'm like Chicken Little. Like, nobody even cares about Chicken Little. Just to show you how slow of a news day it was. Like,
how desperate they are for, pushing agendas. They're mad about Chicken Little and their takeaway because it was supposed to be a girl. But again, if it had been a girl and no one believed, the prone to overreacting, it would have been a girl prone to overreacting that no one would have believed. Do you understand? That would not have flown. No pun intended. It would not have gone over well at all.
The sky is falling. I saw it too. # me too.
That's what I'm saying. It would not have gone over. They would have had a hissy about the fact, it's overreacting. Of course it's a girl,
Yeah.
Oh, no one believes her. Of course it's a girl. They would have had more issues if it had been a female character than they would have had been a male character.
And that's the problem that you run into with, I guess, with making sure that everything is politically correct when you're casting people. And people have said this before. They're like, so basically, you can't put non-white, non-male characters in a villain's role anymore because they were complaining about, we got this as a comment actually on the video about the witches. They're like, wait, so people that only have 3 fingers aren't capable of being evil. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, basically.
Women aren't capable of being evil. So you've got to make sure that the villain's always a white dude. And we're honestly kind of seeing this in movies. You start looking at the casting choices and you're like, yeah, it's usually the white guy's the bad guy, and then
and it gets worse. Even in the new stuff, they automatically put these guys in that not only are white, they look very Trump-esque.
Yeah, that's
I'm like, really?
Could you just hit us upside the head? But I'm sitting here thinking, I was watching The Boys the other night, and A-Train.
I haven't watched it.
Okay,
it's too bloody for me.
Yeah, it was pretty bloody. Well, he, spoiler, the beginning of the first episode kills a dude's girlfriend by running through. He's like the Flash, and he runs through her. Mm-hmm. Now I'm like, oh my God, did they just have a black dude kill somebody, like that? And they did. But the whole team, it turns out, is trash.
But here's the thing. Everybody, you know what? When it comes down to it, what is the most in-demand show that has breaking records? It is, The Boys.
Yeah. It's doing really well.
It's kicking everybody's ass. It was kicking the Mandalorian's ass. It's kicking everybody's ass because people like it because it's not, bending over backwards to hit agendas.
Well, there are a lot of dicks.
I know. That's another reason I might want to watch it.
Yeah, she's like, well, how was it? I'm like, well, it's pretty violent. They swear a lot, and there's a lot of dicks. And she's like, oh, really now? Henry Cavill is not in this one.
Damn. Anyway,
but there are a lot of dicks in The Boys. Anyway, but we're seeing this. CBS announced that they're making a commitment. So what we're going to see, and ABC did this before, is we're going to see shows that are basically created by committee, by affirmative action. Movies created the same way.
Here's the thing. We said it. We keep saying it. It's like, I don't understand why you can't just tell good stories and make good things and just happen to have diverse people in it. Why does it have to be mandated? My next thing is, why did it take a mandate for them to be able to make it more diverse? That
is actually the better question. Why did it take a mandate? Because for all of Hollywood's, high-fiving itself, it does seem, and we see this with animation too. We kept joking about all the new shows that were supposed to be inclusive, the new animated series. They're all done by a bunch of white women,
right?
For the most part. That was kind
of our diverse writers' room
of mostly white women. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So why aren't they? Why aren't they more inclusive organically? And you can't tell me that it's always been white, because you look back in the 70s, we had 70s and 80s, we had a lot of shows that I guess you consider like quote unquote black shows or whatever. We had lots of them. You know, there were quite a few. It seems like we actually, I don't know what happened. Like we actually did like an about face for a while, and now it's like, oh, we're not racist. Really, let's.
But I would have just rather seen them just without being told they have to, without having to wave the flag around to be like, look how inclusive we are. Come support us. If they had just done it anyway and just made good shows that happen to have diverse characters in it, and people wouldn't have thought anything of it. They would have watched the show because it's good. Now they're like, oh, you're just doing it because it's mandated, so it's not going to be a good show. So that was really dumb. They should have just gone and done it and not told anybody that was their mandate, not made a big publicity stunt about it, and then people have been like, oh, look, they're actually trying to be more diverse, but they're telling good stories. Oh, that's awesome. Let's watch these shows. But no. Now that they paraded it all around for attention, people are like, oh, F this.
It's a publicity stunt. You're only doing it because you're getting high fives for it, and they're all trying to outdo each other. We're going to have 25% non-white males. We're going to have 50% non-white males.
Oh, now do you know 75%. The news of the day is that one of the Disney parks, the maps have a same-sex couple on it, and people are flipping out. I'm like, the question is, why wasn't it before now? That's the question. Why did it take till now into the current year for that to happen with all the mandates and showiness? Why didn't you just do it because it was the right thing to do years ago?
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to do it, just do it. Just do it. You don't need to make a big show of it. But yeah, I do think it's a slow news day. Now we're going to go back. Of course, we're going to go back and nitpick every piece of entertainment from the past because it's all problematic now. Everything's problematic, and Chicken Little should have been Chick Little.
Yeah, but if it had gone there, I am telling you, 100%, it would have. It's a hysterical woman that no one believes. Oh my God!
I'm with you. Me too. Me too.
Anyway.
I feel the same way. So we're gonna wrap this up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.